Hey guys, welcome back to Dice Anvil. Today, we're going to be making a character for the brand new TTRPG that I'm developing right now called Triconomist. This is based off the alpha rules set that we're working with right now. The process of making a character in this game will be simple and easy to do in about 15 minutes or so if you're focused and have everything you need right in front of you. We're starting with step number 1, which is background. We'll choose a background and a nation that this character is from, and add anything that comes with that. The background I decided to go with is a Bloodblade from the nation of Archaeum. Archaeum is an empire that's inside of this huge desert. Bloodblades are named after the weapon they wield and the oath they give to the great empire of Archaeum. Warriors are trained by accomplishing tasks, including traveling through the scarring desert, making their skin rough and harder to penetrate. It is a sign of dedication and pride as a warrior. So even though his skin is all scarred up and rough, he wears it with pride, knowing that he went through all the tasks he needed to become the Bloodblade warrior that he is, and he is worthy to serve the Emperor. I'll go ahead and put Bloodblade and Archaeum as the background and nation of this character. We're going to go ahead and add everything that the Bloodblade comes with. So on the top, you can see that it comes with 2 skills, which is Stealth and Acrobatics. I'll go ahead and check those off. And then underneath that, we got 2 abilities, which are very important. We got Assassin's Mark, which is a harmony ability. Name a target, add 1d6 to all attack and defense rolls against that target. So if I'm about to start a combat encounter, I can put my Assassin's Mark on them. Or if I have an enemy that I meet early in the campaign, I can go ahead and put my Assassin's Mark on them so that if I ever see them later, I already have that ready to go. And the second ability we have is Sand Scars, which is a passion ability, may add a d8 to defense rolls against slashing damage. This plays into the attribute that it said that he has in the description, which is he has rougher skin that's more durable against swords or slashing damage. We got step number 2, which is description. We're going to go ahead and fill out his age, gender, appearance, personality, and we're going to complete the sentence, "The world is blank." I put down that he is 24 years old, he's a male, his appearance, he's more lean, he's more rough and a little bit shorter. His personality is that he is loud and stern. I believe the world is in need of a leader. That comes from my loyalty to the Empire and everything in it. Set number 3, aspects. Each number is assigned to an aspect, represents a d6. So we'll go ahead and put that underneath power, agility, knowledge, instinct, so on and so forth, based on how we want this character to be. We can distribute 15 dice amongst all of them with a maximum of 5 and a minimum of 1. Okay, I just distributed them. I decided to have power as 3, agility as 4, knowledge as 2, instinct as 1, passion as 3, and harmony as 2. The thing behind that is I think my body points should be a little bit higher because I am a warrior after all, but I want to have a 2 in knowledge because you wouldn't have a lot of understanding of how the world works, but I want to be curious about it. I also think he should be passionate, so that's why I have a 3 in passion. Set number 4, skills. Each skill has 2 slots, 1 to be filled to be skilled and 2 to be mastered. We'll go ahead and pick 2 more skills for our character to have. I picked grappling, which is basically when you're trying to get out of a headlock, or if you're trying to put someone in a headlock, or if you're trying to wrestle a person or tackle them to the ground, you'll have that extra die, which could come in handy especially for a warrior type. But I also put technology. Maybe he cares a lot about tinkering and stuff like that, but maybe he doesn't tell a lot of people that. Maybe it's kind of taboo for him to care about the nerdy stuff, which is, technology. Next up, we got trackers. We're going ahead and fill out our damage and stress according to our power and instinct, and we're going to add abilities from our harmony and passion. So I have a 3 in power, so I added 3 slots to my damage tracker. A 1 in instinct, so I added 1 to my stress tracker. I'm imagining that he might be a little bit anxious or a little bit self-conscious, so if something happens, maybe his ability to take on stress is a little bit lower. I'm sure that'll be developed further in the game as well. I also added 3 more passion points and 2 harmony points. Step number 6, combat dice. We're gonna go ahead and calculate the smashing, slashing, and range dice based on the power, agility, and instinct. My power is a 3, so my smashing die will be that times 2 equals the die. With a power of 3, I'll have a d6 as a smashing die. With an agility of 4, slashing will be a d8, and my range will be based on my instinct, but I only have a 1 in instinct. Well, also written down in this form says that the lowest possible combat die I can have is a D4. So even though I wouldn't have to have like a D2, which I guess would be just flipping a coin and making it either 1 or 2, the lowest you can go is a D4. I went ahead and put my range as D4. Step number 7, goals. So we can pick 2 goals for our character. This is my favorite part of making the character because it plays such a big role in how you play them and what decisions you make during the game. I decided that my 2 goals should be defend the honor of my nation, and I also put discover something amazing as my second goal. I want to kind of play into this suppressed feelings of creativity or wonder that he probably has, but maybe doesn't really express to anybody. Next up, we got items. Unless specified otherwise, each player starts with 2 simple items or weapons and will have 1 small item from the item sheet. I'm gonna go ahead and put down that I have a short sword and a book. So the short sword, obviously, I'll write down the short sword title. I'll have slashing D8, and it can block when I'm braced for 1d8 as well. And then I'm also going to have a book, maybe one that I don't really want people to see. A book can either be about technology, nature, or culture, and it can add basically a skill die to whenever I'm holding that book. I'm gonna rename short sword and call it Blood Blade instead, and it will still have those same stats. I think it's okay to personalize the items that you have as long as you don't mess with the mechanics of them that much. Might as well, like, make it essential to your character, like, and let them know why you have this item. Now we get to pick 1 small item. I think that I'm gonna have him have some pencils so that maybe he can add more information into his book. I think it's just a narrative choice that I decided to put that, and could be useful down the line, who knows. Step number 9 is relationships. I actually thought of this kind of later in the development of these rules, so I probably didn't talk about it in past videos, but I'll talk about it now. The most important thing as a character is your relationships with other people. I decided to make that part of the beginning of making a character. So how does your character know the other characters? How this will work is when you guys are all sitting around the table, you can roll a d4 and add your harmony to determine the relationship you have with the character to your left. Billy is sitting on my left. I'll go ahead and roll a d4 and add my harmony, which is 2, to that roll. I rolled and I got a 6, which means I've had a past encounter with him, good or bad. So I can literally talk to him and ask him, like, okay, so what would this encounter look like? But you can be creative with that. Maybe it was bad. Maybe I recognize him because I was sent to kill a family member of his. And I won't tell him. He asked me, I'll be like, oh, we're strangers. Don't worry about it. And that's something I reveal later in the game. That could be huge. And that's an opportunity that's only given by finding out what your relationship with that person is. I also added a relationship section on the character sheet, so I can put Billy, and I can put betrayal on there. Or I can put Billy, I can put friend on there. And you can do that with NPCs too. That's why there's so many spaces to use. But I want relationships between your character and other characters to be prioritized in this process and throughout gameplay. And that's it. That's how you create a character in Triconomist. If you have any suggestions or any ideas of how it should go, please leave it below in the comments. Please like this video and subscribe if you want to see this process continue and watch this game become developed and eventually be something that you and your friends can play. Thank you guys so much. Y'all have a good day.